The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
All right, look, we're on the air now. This is the one guy. I don't have to introduce you. You understand that? I mean, usually I give everybody the big introduction. I put them over like $1 million, yada, yada, yada. What can I say about you? Look at you. This is, first of all, I'm having a hard time believing this is what you look like when you wake up in the morning. Did you just wait? You just texted me and said, I just got up. You cannot look like this in the morning.
I just woke up, but I mean, like, how can you not, like, wake up like this at the beach and with everything going on? And
Chyna, you got to do me a huge favor, if you don't mind. Before I hit the record button, you gave me a little tour of that place. Now, listen, the bathroom was a mess. The bedroom was a little bit of the mess. I'm not concerned. You don't have to show that if you don't want. You got to show that view, which is unfreaking believable.
Okay.
Show that view that you showed me.
I wake up, I stretch my arm, and I come outside, and I come out here, and I see if the surfers are out.
Look at that.
There. And I'm getting on those sailboats, too. Nobody wants to go with me, but I'm getting there.
Joanie, I have to ask you this honestly. How could you possibly wake up, see that, and start your day off in a rotten mood? Is that even possible?
You can't. I mean, can you hear it?
Absolutely, I can. I mean, now let me ask you this: when you go to bed at night, I mean, literally, that's what you're hearing and putting you to sleep, right?
Right.
That is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
And you just moved.
I just got my sofa yesterday.
Yeah, a lot.
And I put my little fireplace together, which was like a guy thing, which is a pain in the neck, but.
And you've only been there now. You just moved into the new place about 2.5 weeks ago, you told me.
A couple weeks, yeah.
Well, you are doing phenomenal. You are doing
I can't even.
great.
I can't believe my life right now. I just can't believe it, Vince.
We were so far away from where you are now 6 months ago. Chyna, I don't think you know this. I'm going to be honest with you. When you and I were talking,
I know you were worried about me.
I cried. I cried on the air over you. I broke down and I cried. That's how worried I was about you.
But, I got to tell you, I cried over you because I started listening to your podcast when I was in Japan and all that stuff. And, it's just that, like, I've learned a lot about family and loyalty and connections and, what that means, and how much it means. And, you really mean a lot to me in my life, Vince, and I just love you. And you're a big part of this and will be always, forever.
Are you sure you didn't start crying because I look so old? Joanie, you know what? There are so many.
Sure.
Old. There are so many things I want to talk to you about, like just so many things, and I want to try to cover as much as I possibly can here. But here's the first thing. Listen, you and I were at the same convention, just a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And I have to tell you, man, the outpouring of love I see for you in the public is unbelievable. Now, listen, even when you were in Japan, there was no question in my mind. The minute you came back here, you were going to be welcomed with open arms. I know your fans love and adore you. Did you expect just that outpour of love, when you came back here and you went out in the public again? Or were you a little gun shy of how you were going to be received?
Totally gun shy. I was in my own little bubble. I still kind of am. I'm still kind of getting it. But at the same token, it's that love that I'm receiving that is pushing me forward and has kind of, it's like a catch-22, like I don't want to like listen to it on one hand because of the negativity. And on the other hand, I need that because that's the thing that's pushing me forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
And it's more. Believe me, it's like all positive. It's all positive. It's only me with my own situation with the WWE, that little tiny circle that like pushes me down. But the rest of the world is like totally supportive and totally behind me, and I'm starting to accept that now and take it, you know.
Joanie, I have to ask you this, and I want you to answer me honestly, and you have to listen to what I'm saying because I'm being totally honest with you. When I go to conventions like this, and there's a lot of wrestlers there and a lot of people from the business, you know, I see how the fans react to them, and of course, you know that they're excited to see their stars, and you know, but it's different with you. I mean, I just got to tell you, when they see you, it really is like they're almost seeing, you know, the old school Hollywood movie star. I mean, like a Marilyn Monroe. It's different. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Why do you think it is? I totally feel it. It is different.
I think it's different for a number of reasons, and
I think people are like fascinated in a way that, you know, like I find people coming up to me and they're not really like saying much except for they're just like fascinated to see that I'm there and what I look like, and like I don't know. It's just not like an average thing. People are very fascinated right now.
You know what it is? It's the larger than life. You know, I always think, you know, the way you came across, you know, and how people know you as Chyna, it was a larger than life thing. Like there are wrestlers and there are hundreds and hundreds of wrestlers, but there are very few iconic figures that are larger than life. And listen, we got to call a spade here. When you came on the scene, you know, women's wrestling was absolutely dead at that point. I mean, once Alundra left, I mean, literally there was nothing. Everything that's happening today, I mean, in my opinion, you are 100% responsible for. So like you literally represent women's wrestling, you know, in 2000. And that's why I think you're looked at like an iconic figure. And not only that, but let's face it, there hasn't been anyone close to you, nor will there ever be. And I think that's what the appeal of the fans is when they see you.
I agree, and I think I'll try to explain it to you from my perspective, and that is that, you know, although I'm all for girl power, when I started wrestling the guys and stuff like that, I didn't, you know, really realize that, you know, it was all about the guys. You know, I'm just a woman, and I'm happy to be in the man's world and do what I'm doing, like Marilyn Monroe, you know, and it wasn't like an equality thing or like I'm beating up the guy. It was really, I mean, it was, of course, the guys that made me shine and, you know, made me be a powerful woman and all that. And it's just like, it's just, it's hard to explain, you know. It's just like, I don't think that will ever happen again in the world of wrestling, and especially at that time, you know?
Yeah.
For what that was. And then just for everything to happen after the fact and then kind of be like, it's like almost kind of like I'm this nomad afterwards. Mm-hmm. Like I'm this nomad wrestler, this female wrestler that has accomplished all this stuff. And, you know, now I'm starting to get back out there to these autograph signings, and I'm seeing the guys again and you know, saying hello, and it's just like, you know, deep inside, it's like this emotional connection that I'm seeing these guys again, and it's like really, I mean, I really don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, you know, Joni, there are two things I got to tell you, man, that, like, listen, when I worked with you, being in that moment and at that time, of course, the thing that grabbed me, like it did a lot of other people, was, you know, just, you know, your physical presence and this powerful woman that could just kick anybody's backside. But I'm going back now and I'm doing like reviews on the Attitude Era shows, quite frankly, because I can't watch today's product and review it. There's nothing to talk about. So I went back to the Attitude Era. There are two things that really stand out to me that I never realized before, okay? One of them is, you know, people forget, you know, you said very, very few words. And the more and more I watch you now, it's incredible to me the emotions you were able to get across, the stories you were able to tell non-verbally, just with right here, and your actions. That's incredible to me because I know you're not a trained actress. And I mean, you really have to be a good actress to get across feelings and emotions without being able to say anything. So I was never looking at that back then. I'm looking at it now, and it's incredible. That's number one. Number two, and I'm going to segue into another very important thing here. Here's another thing I really love, and I have to tell you. Listen, we all know when we worked with Shawn Michaels, all right? Listen, like everybody else, he was having some issues at the time. He was dealing with some very personal things at the time. So part of the problem was, like, you never really knew what Shawn you were going to get. I know I didn't when I showed up at TV. Sometimes he was great. Sometimes he wanted to kill me. It made it difficult. But I got to tell you what I really enjoy now going back and watching this Attitude Era. When Shawn is with you, I feel like such a love from Shawn towards you. And my God, he did everything he possibly could. This is Shawn Michaels we're talking about now, to make you the star, to always put you over. I mean, he was constantly doing that. People don't do that. They just don't. It's about me, myself, and I getting themselves over. God did. You could tell the guy loved you, and he was always putting you over, putting you on the pedestal. You haven't seen Shawn or spoke to Shawn, I think, in a while. You're about to see him in about 2 weeks here. Tell me about the emotions and what you're going through not having seen him for so long.
I'm nervous. I pray that he is going to accept me with open arms, because I really need that. You know, it's been, you know, seeing Brett and Mick and Shawn for the first time, and, you know, you know, this is very emotional for me, you know, all this stuff, and I just, you know, I really love these men, and I appreciate them, and just going through all of this. And at the same token, I'm still dealing with company politics, and you know, seeing what's happening. And I'm really excited to see him, and I'm hoping that he accepts me with open arms. I'm really hoping, because it's gonna hurt me if he doesn't.
Chyna, I can't believe for a second he won't. I mean, I just
like,
can't.
Shawn Michaels is like, because that would kill me. You know?
I did a Christian show. Like, Sting hosted a show on one of the Christian networks, and I did it with Shawn, and I hadn't seen Shawn in a very long time. And remember, I went over to WCW and all that. He accepted me with open arms, and I was thrilled.
Because I got to tell you, I did a show in it was in Texas, and I saw Jerry Lawler, and then Ron Simmons and JBL were there, and RVD, and Ric Flair was quite distant to me, and we had like I went up to like hug him and stuff, and he didn't want to be around me because of Hunter.
Yeah, but
shocked.
But Joanie, you never really had a personal relationship with Flair, did you?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. That's surprising to me too, because Ric Flair did my show.
I mean, listen, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can accept that. But Sean is a different story because there's Sean, there's Kevin Nash.
Kevin's going to be there too, right?
These people I feel like I have, and I'll be seeing him too. I think some appearance I'm doing coming up. These people I feel like I have very personal feelings towards that. I need the love from them because I love them dearly, and I don't want to create. I don't want to create any. Look, I don't want to create any mischief or drama. I'm not about that. I'm just trying to do my thing and let's move forward and do the do. You know what I'm saying?
Joanie, let me ask you this, because listen, I think to some extent you and I are in the same category, and I turn down a lot of these things, and I'll tell you why. Because when I go to these things, Joanie, and I see some of the people I worked with, I want to hug them. I want to tell them I love them. I want to tell them I miss them. I want to thank them for the opportunity that I had of working with them. That's what Vince Russo wants to do. But then, like you said, then the politics kick in. My heart, forget my heart. I have to think with my head. And my biggest concern is I don't want to get heat on these people. If these people are seen hugging Vince or talking to Vince, the last thing I want to do is get heat on those people. So I know you're dealing with that like tenfold, because obviously Hunter is involved. How do you deal with it when you walk into a convention and you see your old playmates and you just want to go up, you see Jerry Briscoe, you just want to squeeze him to death? How do you handle it?
Well, I'm going through the motions. I don't know how I'm going to handle it, but because my immediate reaction is that I'm expecting everybody to embrace me and hug me and be like, oh my God, and there are people that are doing that. And they're like, Chyna, you look amazing. I'm so happy that you're good and I love you and whatever. So when I'm getting the people that don't, it's like kind of shocking. And then I feel like, oh my God, I'm putting these people who are maybe on contract or, friends of friends, and they're going to be put in, interim situations. And I just have to tell myself, you know what, Chyna, it is what it is. And they have to make their own choices to support me or not or whatever. And at the end of the day, I don't know. It was amazing. When I went to the autograph signing in Texas and I saw Ron Simmons and JBL and Jerry Lawler and RBD too, he's more of a nomad, but when they embraced me and kissed me and they did the Chyna Hall of Fame thing, I knew they were on Legends contracts or whatever, still working for the company. And they didn't have to do it, and I was actually in tears because I was like, these guys, I'm asking them to do this thing, Chyna Hall of Fame or whatever. And I know that they're going to get heat for it, but they're grown men. And if, they can make their own decision. So that's how I feel.
Well, Chyna, I have to say this because, my God, I still don't know how you did this, because this really takes, I don't even know, I want to say balls, but it's almost beyond balls. I don't even know. I would have not been capable of doing this. And I want to talk about this.
It's hurtful. It's hurtful. At the end of the day, I come home here and I have my water and my apartment and whatever, but I'm alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's not like an MC club, like a motorcycle club, like a brotherhood, whatever. Wrestling is not like that. And I know everybody has their own lives and their wives and their children, and they need to put food on the table and whatever. Like I would be the last thing that I want to come in between whatever predicament.
Right.
But at the same time, you know what? I'm going to stand up for what I know is right and where I am and my love for these guys that I work with and whatever. And I'm seeing this now, how this all unfolds. I don't know.
Well, Joanie, that's what I was just about to get into. I don't know how you were strong enough. And it really
but
is.
I wasn't strong enough.
No, but wait, no, wait.
I was not strong enough. I had you.
No. But hold on. I'm talking to
Anthony.
I'm talking about some.
There was this whole family that I lost.
I'm talking about something completely different now. This is what I'm talking about. I have, and I want you to clarify this because I hate the freaking rumors and I hate that. That's why I'm glad you're here. We can clarify this. I got to tell you, the fortitude and the confidence and the proudness, I don't even know how to describe it. I can't imagine what it took you to walk into Roddy Piper's funeral. And I have to tell you, that speaks spades about you. That had to be the toughest thing for you to do. Piper just passed away. You had a relationship with him. You wanted to go, but yet you knew who was going to be there. And
well, that's the thing. I didn't know, though. I wasn't even thinking about that. I had no idea that Hunter was going to be. When he showed up, I was like, oh, my God. But no, I was totally there for Roddy, and like I was like heartbroken.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about anybody else, any other wrestler who was going to be there. The same thing, like kind of like when Anna died, and I went on Larry King, and it was like this total mayhem, and I was like a mess and everything. Like it's just like when stuff like that happens, you just go with like
emotion, pure emotion.
Yeah. It was complete. I wasn't even thinking. I didn't even know how to deal with that. Like that was like, I don't know. I was there for Roddy and Roddy only, and I didn't even know what was. I was in my own little world. To me, in my mind, I was the only one there.
Yeah. Well, see, I can truly understand that, just being wrapped up in the emotion. But then I can't even imagine, like, you're not even thinking about that.
That was difficult because the last time that I had seen Hunter was when Hunter came to pick up Sean, who was then apparently reporting to WWE every day, about what I was doing, the henchman, but, that was crazy, but that, I didn't expect to see Hunter at all.
Johnny, can you clarify, because I want you to do this for a purpose. Listen, I'm not Joe Gossip or anything, that. I want you to do it for two reasons. Number one, so the truth gets out. And number two, because it's going to lead me to a question that you and I spoke about, and I really thought you needed to, address in a public forum, because even I was confused. That's why I asked you, and I want people to understand you and, what you're doing. Can you just first of all tell us, okay, so Hunter's there. Can you tell us, what that encounter was? Because it's important, because it's going to lead to my next question.
Okay. Well, of course, I was there with Anthony and my lawyer, Sam Perlmutter, and
why did you decide to just put on the lip gloss like in the middle of this interview? I've put you over as looking absolute. Why are we putting on the lip gloss now? Talk to me.
Brigitte Nielsen told me to always wear my lip gloss.
Okay, all right. Good for Brigitte. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt the story. Go ahead.
So we were just, I was just going to like see the family and like the whole thing, and I never expected in a million years that Hunter would be there. And then I saw him walk in, and he walked by me, and I was like, you know,
Like reality just kicks in, right?
I don't even know how to explain it. My heart dropped to like my feet, and I was like, and I was just telling Anthony, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, Hunter's here! Oh my god, Hunter's here!" But he just walked by me, and it was like kind of that weird, like he was mad or something, like this mad look on his face, crunchy face.
Did you put on did you put on lip gloss when Hunter walked in the room? I'm just curious. All right, go ahead. So Hunter, so he definitely saw you.
Oh, he definitely saw.
Okay, so he walks by with crunchy face as you describe it.
Yes.
Okay.
And it immediately made me go like this again.
Yeah. Yeah. What a tough situation. So go ahead.
And it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I didn't do anything wrong, you know what I mean? And especially there and being there and the thing, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hey, Joanie, Joanie, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Joanie, let's face it. When you're at a funeral and, somebody you loved, like Roddy, passes away, I mean, when you're at a funeral, that's a time when you want to tell everybody around you that you love them. You know what I'm saying? Forget about the BS. Yeah.
Executives around Hunter.
Yeah.
And it was like Hunter was in line with the family, and I'm like, was he like family? Like, why is like this happening? And then there was like Michael Hayes, and then the guy from Canada from the what's his name?
The freight train Joe LeDuc? No, I'm sorry. Who's executives?
Right. Executives from WWE around him, and
right.
Then I saw Ric Flair, and I saw Brett, and Brace Brett, and but it was weird because I was put into this position of politics at the funeral, which I didn't expect, and I wasn't there for that, and I just didn't want to. Like and then at that point I tried to be just as normal as possible, and I was not gonna not say hello to any, but they were the ones doing they were not coming,
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just not gonna am I making sense? I'm not gonna make this about that. I'm here for Roddy, and I was distraught, they started playing the bagpipes and and I was there for the family, and I don't know. I was kind of disappointed. But then that was put in front of me. So I did my due, and I'm happy the way that it actually, it was good. I don't believe that was Roddy above that put that situation into play. And, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it.
Well, Joe. Well, no. Okay, that's cool. I understand all that, and I like that because you gave us the emotion. Because I cannot even fathom being in the spot.
What bothered me was afterwards, and then they were saying that I ambushed Hunter.
Right. That's what I want you to straighten that out.
And I'm in the mix again with the family, and it's just rotten.
So just tell us exactly what happened to set the record straight so everybody knows.
So after the funeral, then I heard from, Sean Waltman that he was tweeting. He's like the dog on the pant leg, constantly. And that I was ambushing Hunter and whatever. I didn't ambush him. Ambush him, and not that I want to talk about the whole funeral with the family, because it's not freaking about that at all. So that puts me in a position again. You're gonna have Roddy Piper's funeral, and they're talking about me ambushing Hunter.
Yeah,
please.
Right.
As it pisses me off.
But you did do the right thing, and you did give him a hug. And I want to clarify something, because this is where I want to set the record straight, because even I had questions. You did give him a hug, and you told him you were sorry. Is that true?
I did.
Okay, that's what I want to talk to you about, because I got to tell you this, Joanie. Listen, the ambush part and all that, I knew that wasn't in your character. I knew that was total nonsense, but I did know it was in your character to take the high road, give the guy a hug, and tell him you were sorry. But my question was,
by the way, that was very difficult for me, because there was a lot. My heart was beating out of my chest. Yeah. Edgar Allan Poe right there.
Yeah. But what a great example to set, though, no? It's high road, Chyna. But here's the thing I want to set straight.
It's not even about high road. It was just, what? Am I not going to do that?
No, you did the right. I think you did the right thing. But what I'm getting at is the thing I didn't understand was, like, I didn't understand when I heard that you told him I'm sorry. I didn't understand what you were apologizing for. And right. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, because you know what? Doing the right thing, giving the guy a hug and all that is, to me, that's high road. You wouldn't have handled it any other way. I didn't understand the apology part, because here I was, not knowing what was going through your mind, and I'm saying to myself, what the frig is she apologizing for? So I was hoping you can explain it, because when you told me personally, I totally understood it.
Well, I'll tell you about that, and I'm still having issues with that a little bit, because I'm like, realistically, I have nothing to apologize for. If anything, they should be apologizing to me. But, after talking with Anthony time and time and time again, I had a lot of pent-up emotion and needed therapy or whatever, trauma, and that has come out maybe on, like, some drunken YouTube videos or, like, outlets that I don't particularly care to watch. I don't want to see myself like that. I don't know what the alternative was. Things came out that I said maybe that are understandable, but maybe not justifiable. And so I'm trying to take accountability for whatever my part in any mayhem might be. I'm willing to take total accountability. Let's talk about it.
Pro Wrestling's history class is now in session with Back to the Territories. Join host Jim Cornette and J.J. Dillon as they explore Mid-Atlantic wrestling.
Sitting there with his hands like this was Jim Crockett Sr.
3.5 hours of wrestling history told through rare memorabilia and exclusive footage.
Nothing topped Wahoo McDaniel and Johnny Valentine.
Featuring over an hour of lost Mid-Atlantic film footage from Jim Cornette's collection.
The kid from Minnesota. It was going to be something. Ric Flair.
Head back to Mid-Atlantic Wrestling at shootinterviews.com.